Hi, my name is Sharante Fowler, and I'm a 2-year breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with stage 2B of invasive lobular carcinoma in November of 2021.
Scary. Um, yeah, just scary. Just scary. Not knowing what was in front of me, what I have to do, uh, just thinking that maybe this is the end of the world.
As a breast cancer survivor, I would encourage all women to do monthly self breast exam because early detection will save your life. Early detection saved my life. As an African American women, we are at high risk of dying from breast cancer. Matter of fact, we are 40% more likely to die of breast cancer because of the neglect we receive in the healthcare systems.
Radiation was fine because everybody always told me, make you real tired and um, that's gonna take a lot out you. But radiation was fine. I went every day. I worked every day. I went early to work, and so I could be to radiation by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and went home and just rest. And but I worked every day.
As an African American woman, it is key that we advocate for ourselves. I had to advocate to get screening done for myself because the first complaint that I have that I gave to the doctors, I was able to get a mammogram and my diagnosis was missed. And then I kept advocating for myself, and another mammogram was done. And guess what? My breast cancer was missed as well. It went into then that I fought to get an ultrasound done, and there where it was discovered that I had breast cancer, or a possibility of breast cancer, and then a biopsy was done to confirm that diagnosis.
I think early detection is basically the key because I remember going to my gynecologist, and my gynecologist did mammogram, and he told me I had something called calcification, but no concern whatsoever. So I was having problems with my stomach at the time, so I had my brother found me another doctor. So that doctor was coming in, and she said, "Just let me do a total physical on you and see what's wrong." And she did, and so when she got to my breast, she said something is not right. And that's when she sent me to an oncologist. And I thought if I would have just, if I would have waited, if I wasn't going to her at the time, I don't know where this diagnosis would have went to, because this was 3 months after the gynecologist told me that there was no concern. But by the time, and this 3 months later, it's in stage 1. And so if I wasn't going to her, I don't know what would have happened, how far it would have got to. So I guess one thing came out of it is that I was going to her, and she really found it because nobody else could pinpoint it, nobody else could feel it. Just a normal mammogram couldn't see it because it was just that small. But I'm glad that I started going to her for another reason, but ended up with being diagnosed with breast cancer.
Throughout this process, God showed out for me. He showed up and showed out. When I first got the diagnosis of breast cancer, I was very angry at God. It wasn't until April of 2022 that I had to surrender to Him. And once I surrendered to Him, it was just a calm peace came over me. And it was like, God, He got me. And He told me that I was going to be okay. That was my first time in my 38 years that I was able to hear God speak. Sometimes we have to calm our heart so we can hear. And when I heard God, I knew that I was going to be okay. And He has stood 10 toes down with me throughout this journey. And I continue to seek Him in everything that I do. And I just want to give God all the praise and all the glory. And through this transition, I couldn't gain even more clarity or joy or peace in my life. I was provoked to purpose. And sometimes we go through things that God provoke us to our purpose. And this diagnosis of breast cancer has allowed me to live out my purpose that God has fulfilled in my life.
One thing he showed up for me was, and it's crazy to say, but he showed up to me by my stomach bothering me and going to her. If I hadn't went to her, then nobody wouldn't have looked at that to the next year till I got a mammogram. So that was one way the Lord, in his infinite wisdom, shows up for us. And we think, gosh, I've got to go through this. But if I didn't go through that, nobody, I would have been next year when I got another mammogram. And so, and I remember, you have insurance, but you don't know what you have sometimes. And when this girl at work heard that, I was going through had breast cancer, and we had Aflac at the time, and I didn't know it. So she said, this is what you do. This is the paperwork you need. This is what you need to do, and you send it to Aflac. And I just thank God that I had insurance that could help me through this, and good support of my family, and so it went really well. One thing about God, He already know what we gonna go through. He ordained it. He orchestrated it. He already got it under control. We just have to walk in the path. And I thank God for being able to walk in the path. Not that He's speaking to me daily, but He leading and guiding me and directing my steps on a daily basis. And I appreciate that. I appreciate for being able to know when this is God, and I can lean and depend on these steps that He's giving me to follow through.